Echoes of Dreams, a grand journey across the multiverse and other stories, written by Pabitra Adhikary, narrated by Ashish Hazra and Sanchoita Bishwas. Echoes of Dreams, a grand journey across the multiverse. Anushka's familiar world was the narrow lanes of Kolkata, the scent of old books in College Street, and friendly chatter on the green grass of Victoria Memorial. Amidst all this, she found her life. But deep within her existence was an invisible vibration, a subtle resonance that never left her. Anushka knew that her Kolkata, her earth, all of it was merely a tiny fragment of a vast design, which she called the multiverse. The multiverse, an enormous cosmos where every dimension holds a unique universe. Anushka knew that directly opposite their universe lay another, where every person had a counterpart. This uncanny connection with their cerebral bridge, allowing them to meet their other selves in the dream world. Anushka's circle of friends was small but strong. There was Aryan, who relied on logic, Shreya, calm and sensitive, and Dev, whose humor and fearlessness could lighten any difficult situation. But over the past few months, Anushka's dreams had changed. They were filled with dense black clouds, the roar of thunder, and a chilling fear. She saw colossal, malevolent shadows trying to destroy something. Their eyes were red, and a putrid smell emanated from their bodies. She knew these were not mere nightmares, but harbingers of imminent danger. One afternoon, while lounging on the green grass of Victoria Memorial, Anushka told her friends about her recent terrifying dreams. Dev asked, "Well, do you find any clues in your dreams? Any hint?" Anushka closed her eyes and pondered. Yes, a word, alpha, and an intense light, as if the light is emerging from a single point. Alpha Universe and the Great Peril. At the very center of the multiverse lies the Alpha Universe. It is the source of all things, the principal hub of all energy. In its cosmic heart, a single, brilliant life point pulsates. All existence is governed by this point. Originating from this point, messengers spread out. They were beings of light, the keepers of order and balance. But this cosmic peace was sought to be disrupted by the great demons. They were denizens of the netherworld, symbols of chaos and destruction. Their sole objective was to destroy the central life point of the Alpha Universe and utterly shatter the illusion of the multiverse. They knew that if this point was destroyed, all universes would plunge into an abyss of disorder. Anushka's dreams were growing clearer. One deep night, Anushka was asleep in her room. Suddenly, a gentle glow enveloped her. From the midst of the light, a figure became clear. She was a messenger from the Alpha Universe, named Ilara. Ilara said in a gentle voice, "Anushka, you can sense us because there is a profound connection between your minds and our world. Your dreams are not lies, A great peril is approaching. Peril? What peril? The great demons, Ilara said. They seek to destroy the central life point of the Alpha universe. If they succeed, this multiverse will be destroyed. Ilara further explained, directly opposite your universe lies another universe. The great demons want to attack the counterpart of your universe. The queen of that universe and you are two reflections of the same essence. Your combined power can prevent this danger. But what can we do? We are just ordinary people, Anushka said. Lara calmly replied, you can travel to that universe through the dream world, but time is short. A daring decision in the dream world. The next morning, Anushka called her friends and told them about her encounter with Ilara. Aryan was initially skeptical, but Shreya and Dev believed more deeply. So, we are going to another universe? Dev asked excitedly. Anushka looked at them. We may be ordinary, but this connection makes us special. We must at least try. All right, Dev said. We are with you. Shreya and Aryan also agreed. That very night, they decided to embark on the journey. In the dead of night, they all closed their eyes calmly, following Anushka's instructions. Their bodies felt lighter. The surrounding environment faded away, replaced by a vortex of colors: blue, purple, green, golden. This was the space between dimensions, the pathway to the dream world. Their combined willpower propelled them forward. Suddenly, the vortex ceased, and they stepped onto a new land. Anushka's reflection in the counterpart's world. When their eyes opened, they found themselves in a strange but familiar environment. A vast garden surrounded by greenery filled with flowers. As they walked along the garden path, they reached a colossal palace. By a fountain in the middle of the garden stood a woman. When Anushka came close to her, the woman turned around. She looked exactly like Anushka. The queen, Aryan whispered. The woman, the queen of this universe, looked at Anushka and smiled softly. I am Aurora, the queen of this universe, and you are my reflection. Our two essences meet at one point. Queen Aurora explained to them in detail about the Alpha universe and the great demon's attack. When two reflections meet together, their power multiplies many-fold. Anushka and her friends met Aurora's soldiers. Aryan found his counterpart, Aditya. Shreya found hers, Shreya. And Dev found his, Divakar. They quickly exchanged information and prepared to face the great demons. Battle with the great demons. The rise of combined power. They could not rest for long in Aurora's palace. At night, a black cloud descended from the sky. The great demons had attacked. Their appearance was terrifying, colossal, made of moss and soil, with great light emanating from their eyes. Their very presence instilled a deep fear. Anushka, Aurora, and their friends took to the battlefield with Aurora's soldiers. Anushka and Aurora stood side by side. The connection between them grew even stronger during the battle. Aryan and Aditya used their combined scientific knowledge to determine specific light frequencies for the demon's weakness. Shreya and Shreya chanted ancient mantras to create a powerful psychic shield for the soldiers. Dev and Divakar threw themselves against the great demons with their fearlessness. Anushka and Aurora used their combined power to create a mighty shield of light. They realized that the union of their two selves was their greatest weapon. Anushka and Aurora faced the leader of the great demons, a terrifying entity whose body was made of dense darkness. The demon leader hurled an intense beam of light at them. They swiftly created a combined force field, deflecting the attack. "You cannot succeed," the demon leader roared. Anushka said with a firm voice, "We will not let your destruction succeed." Aurora added, "We are one. You cannot imagine our power." They formulated a plan in their minds. Anushka gathered all her mental energy to create an illusion in the mind of the demon leader. Seizing this opportunity, Aurora used her spiritual power to create a strong protective barrier, which sapped the demon leader's strength. The demon leader screamed in fury, "This is not over!" And its body slowly dissolved into darkness. It had fled. As the demon leader vanished, the intensity of the external battle subsided. The remaining great demons grew weak and were defeated by Aurora's soldiers. Return and new understanding. As morning broke, the wounded were treated, and the universe grew calm again. Queen Aurora expressed her deep gratitude to Anushka and her friends for saving their lives. With the evening, Anushka and her friends prepared to return. Aurora came to bid them farewell and said, "Our connection will last forever, Anushka." They closed their eyes again. Their bodies felt heavy once more. When they opened their eyes, they saw they were lying in Anushka's room in Kolkata. Everything was as it was before, but they knew they were no longer the same. Anushka and her friends knew that the multiverse was not merely a fantasy, but a real existence. They were the echoes of dreams, who connected with a distant, identical universe to repel the darkness. Their lives were never the same. Aryan learned to consider the unknown alongside logic. His scientific curiosity now directed towards the mysteries of the cosmos. Shreya recognized the power of her sensitivity and felt that her ancient knowledge was part of the cosmic truth. And Dev discovered his fearlessness in a new light, understanding that courage is not just physical strength, but also the strength of the mind. Deep in her heart, Anushka felt that faint connection with Aurora and their universe. They were now not just ordinary people from Kolkata. They were the silent guardians of the multiverse, who protected the illusion of existence through the world of dreams.
Rajan, the vigilant guardian of time, from almost successful. Rajan lived in the bustling city of Kolkata. He always considered himself almost successful. This meant he nearly accomplished what he set out to do, but never quite reached full success. For instance, he was almost a singer. His songs existed only in the notebooks and his mind, unheard by anyone. He was almost an innovator with countless ideas for new machines, yet none ever came to fruition. He would get close to success, but that word almost always held him back from achieving it fully. His life was like an old black and white photograph, while others' lives were vibrant and colorful. His days were filled with monotony and sadness. The word failure constantly shadowed him, following him like a persistent echo. Rajan longed for something more, a purpose in life, a small spark to ignite his dull existence and make it bright again. One scorching afternoon, deep in his grandfather's old, dust-laden study, Rajan was searching for something. As he rummaged through antique books and broken trinkets, his hand suddenly brushed against a loose wooden panel on the floor. He pushed it aside, revealing a hidden compartment. It contained no gold or hidden treasures, but a peculiar device. A faint hum emanated from it, and its bright spherical rings pulsed gently as if alive. Rajan was utterly astonished, yet, summoning a flicker of courage, he activated the machine. What else could it be but a natural time machine? Instantly, the world dissolved into a kaleidoscope of colors, and the roar of a powerful wind filled his ears. Then he found himself in a new world, one that felt both alien and strangely familiar. Glimmering Kolkata of the future. His head was still spinning as he emerged from the device. What he saw when he opened his eyes defied imagination. He had arrived in the Kolkata of the future. The city now gleamed utterly modern. Towering buildings scraped the sky, their glass and steel facade glinting in the sunlight. Sky bridges spanned the city, connecting one section to another, with autonomous vehicles zipping rapidly across them. This was 100 years in his future. The very air of this future seemed to carry the scent of advanced technology. Every street corner, every building bore the unmistakable mark of modernity. People's attire, their movements, everything was different. In the heart of the city, where old Kolkata once stood, Kolkata University now rose as a colossal symbol of scientific advancement. It was here that Aruna Desai, a geneticist, unveiled her greatest discovery, mutagen. This extraordinary device could alter human genes, unlock dormant parts of the human brain, accelerate human thought processes, and even bring natural forces under control. Rajan was utterly dumbfounded, but quickly regained his composure. The ubiquitous cameras placed throughout this futuristic city swiftly located him. No one knew how he had arrived, making him an anomaly. The International Security Council, the global peacekeepers, brought him to their headquarters. After rigorous testing, a startling truth emerged. Rajan's body was perfectly suited for the mutagen process. It was as if he had been born precisely for this moment. The council was desperately seeking a way to defeat a dangerous new enemy, and they saw Rajan as an unexpected solution. For many years, deep beneath the ocean, hidden from the public eye, clandestine operatives had established vast secret strongholds. Their leader was a criminal known as the Serpent, whose true name was Zara. Her eyes were cold and her mind burned with a fierce desire for revenge. Zara and her faction, calling themselves as Aqua Shadow, planned to destabilize the surface world. Their ultimate goal was to enslave humanity through their engineered technology and impose a new world order. These underwater criminals had recently escalated their attacks, abducting the world's brightest scientists and forcing them to create terrifying new weapons in their hidden layers. The serpent was particularly enraged because her sister Anya had been imprisoned by the Security Council despite Anya having no involvement in criminal activities. The Security Council knew they needed a deep cover operative, someone above suspicion who could easily infiltrate the enemy's stronghold. Rajan, the failure from the past, was their ideal choice. He was an unassuming man, appearing incapable of anything significant, which made him perfect for deceiving the enemy. The mutagen process was initiated, completely transforming him. The procedure was agonizing, but with each surge of pain, a new power awakened within Rajan. He felt his mind sharpen, thoughts racing with incredible speed and clarity. The world seemed to slow around him and all his senses heightened. After extensive training, he began to perceive subtle natural forces, the speed of the wind, the vibrations of the earth, and gradually learned to control these abilities. He was no longer the failed Rajan. He was now Apex, a superhuman capable of wielding the forces of nature at will. Apex's arduous task. His mission was exceedingly dangerous. Apex followed the Council's meticulously crafted plan. He would befriend Anya, who was imprisoned, and then covertly join the Serpent's organization. This strategy was fraught with peril, as even a minor misstep could jeopardize the entire operation and cost him his life. Although Anya was a captive, she strongly disapproved of her sister's criminal activities. She loved Zara, but Zara's fanaticism and destructive agenda deeply troubled her. Apex, with his newfound charismatic personality and empathetic demeanor, gradually earned Anya's trust. He showed Anya a compassionate and supportive side she had never experienced from Zara. Apex spoke of a world yearning for peace, where technology was used for human betterment, not for destruction. Slowly, he installed doubt in Anya's mind regarding her sister's true intentions. She began to realize that Zara was merely consumed by a hunger for power and was exploiting Anya as a pawn. Their bond strengthened, weaving a thread of trust and friendship. Anya, repulsed by her sister's criminal enterprise and moved by Apex's noble purpose, agreed to help. She divulged her sister's secret plans and all the information about Aqua Shadow's hidden base to Apex. Together, they navigated the winding underwater paths to reach the main secret stronghold, a massive luminous fortress concealed in the deep ocean's darkness. The fortress was guarded by powerful external defenses, but following Anya's guidance, Apex was able to bypass them and infiltrate. Within the fortress's undulating walls, the abducted scientists toiled, creating new, powerful sonic weapons and earthquake-generating devices. Fear and despair were etched on their faces, for they knew the weapons they were forging would unleash devastation upon the earth. The final battle and the guardian of time. The climax was an explosive crescendo. Apex, utilizing the vital information provided by Anya, formulated a meticulously planned strategy. He used his powers to control wind, currents, and generate small earthquakes within the base, sowing chaos. Every action was precise, every tactic perfectly calculated. Responding to Apex's directives, the Security Council's submersible fleet swiftly assaulted the base. Advanced submarines and highly trained divers instantaneously breached Aqua Shadow's defenses and surged inside. What followed was an epic confrontation. Apex confronted the serpent. Zara attempted to stop Apex with her advanced technology and elite trained soldiers, but Apex was always one step ahead. He used his enhanced mental powers to disarm Zara, incapacitating her weapons and draining the energy from her new devices as if siphoning their very essence. The fortress began to crumble from both inside and out, signaling the end of a criminal reign. Zara, unable to accept defeat, chose to take her own life. After Apex completed his mission, Security Council experts extracted him from the collapsing stronghold just as it was sinking into deep ocean. He was brought back, greeted with the honor befitting a hero. But precisely at that moment, the natural time machine fell silent, its light extinguishing. Rajan found himself back in his grandfather's dusty study. The strange device now lay dormant, a mere old object, as if it had never functioned. The world outside was still the Kolkata he knew, bustling and vibrant. He was still Rajan, the almost successful man whose life had been shadowed by the monotony and failure. Yet something profound had shifted within him. The whispers of failure had vanished forever. In their place, he felt a quiet strength, a memory of a future saved, and the deep understanding that an ordinary person, given an extraordinary opportunity, could indeed change history. He returned to his normal life, but that life was irrevocably altered by the memory of being a superhuman. He walked among people who never know of his impossible journey, his hidden heroism, like a secret guardian of time. His smile was now more confident. His gait possessed a strange resilience that was absent before. Rajan knew that the apex within him would never truly disappear. He merely slept silently beneath the bustling city, ready, awaiting another call.
Bridge of Blue Light. Search for the Supreme Universe. The bus rumbled through the crowded, dark alleys toward the nocturnal metropolis, and Aniket's eyes held a deep void. The job market felt to him like a vast, engulfing black hole. In this gloomy moment, with the shame of failure tightly wrapped around his mind, he got off the bus, leaving the city's clamor behind. Aniket walked toward a secluded ghat, riverbank on the Ganga. Late at night, sitting on the broken steps of an old jetty, he watched the faint reflection of the moon on the river's dark, still water, as if a chilling shadow of despair was slowly consuming him. Just then, Celia emerged through a mist-like veil that drifted along the water's edge. The first thing that struck Aniket was her intense, unfamiliar fragrance. like the essence of a newly bloomed cosmic flower that shouldn't exist in Earth's atmosphere. Celia wore a light grey attire, shuttle like dark matter, yet strong enough to contain the structure of the universe. Her eyes were deep, intelligent, and carried a past that lay beyond Aniket's observable universe. In those eyes was the silence of wisdom and the sparkle of 1,000 stars. "I am Celia." Her voice resonated with a strange echo. "I have come from the Supreme Universe." Supreme Universe? Aniket was dumbfounded. Supreme Universe? What does that mean? His sorrow was momentarily overshadowed by astonishment. Celia smiled, her laughter like the cool moonlight. While Aniket was drowning in the grief of unemployment, Celia revealed a profound truth that stood against the fundamental rules of his universe. Aniket, the luminous energy with which you perceive this world is merely a tiny fraction existing within a giant black hole. This observable universe of yours, fleeting like the light of a candle, is actually a minuscule part of this cosmic black hole. Her words transcended Aniket's grief of unemployment, creating an existential vacuum. Celia explained that this universe's mass, energy, and light, everything is confined within that black hole. What your scientists call dark matter and dark energy, this universe is fundamentally composed of that. And beyond this black hole lies the Supreme Universe, a cosmic consciousness that governs all parallel universes. We are the inhabitants of that cosmic consciousness. Celia revealed that the Supreme Universe is a realm of pure consciousness and light. As its inhabitants, they have attained the ultimate knowledge and power of the universe. Their advanced consciousness has unlocked the secret of creating wormholes, a path to travel from one universe to another in minutes. The Blue Light Watch and a New Journey. Celia had come to Earth to observe this world, which exists within a colossal black hole. Her time to return was near. Standing by the Ganga, she presented Aniket with a strange blue light watch. Its metal composition was unknown on Earth, and a soft blue light emanated from its crystal, as if a tiny star was hidden within the timepiece. This is a medium of communication between our two worlds, Celia said. Tomorrow morning is my time to return. Be ready. We will go to the Supreme Universe together. There, you will find a new life. Aniket watched in a trance as Celia, in the shadow of dark matter, dissolved into the waves of the Ganga. He gripped the watch tightly. It was not just a watch, it was a promise. Before dawn broke, an intense blue light radiated from the watch. A silent but urgent call. Aniket's parents looked at him with concern. The sudden change in their unemployed son was not normal. Aniket merely held his mother's hand and said, "Mother, I am going to find something that will answer all my questions. I have no more despair." Celia, who had appeared at their doorstep before sunrise, said, "Don't worry. He will return as one of us, a man of the Supreme Universe. He is not alone anymore." The wormhole. In an empty, silent field outside the city, Celia applied a complex code to the watch. The blue light emanating from the watch began to tear apart the air molecules. At that very moment, a space-like black, swirling wormhole was created. The blurred images of stars and galaxies revolving toward the center of the abyss filled Aniket with intense rapture. They entered the chasm together. All around was just light and flashes, as if 1,000 stars were exploding in an instant. Inside the wormhole, time and space became meaningless to them. Aniket felt the dormant parts of his brain awaken, as if a long-forgotten memory was returning. His fear vanished, replaced by a pure consciousness. Within a minute, they reached the other side. The journey to the Supreme Universe. Opening his eyes, Aniket saw a different world. The sky was filled with a strange bluish light, not as intense as the sun, yet making everything clear and vibrant. This light was not just for sight. It was nourishment for consciousness. Buildings with bright geometric patterns seemed to embody the secrets of space. Their architecture followed no earthly structure. They were the language of light and mathematics. Welcome to the entrance of the Supreme Universe, Celia said. The people of this society looked like humans, but their eyes were deeper, more intelligent. Their faces showed no agitation, only deep focus. They welcomed Aniket warmly. Their silent smiles were sincere. Aniket began to learn that this blue light was not just the basis of their science, but of their life and consciousness. He learned the secret of creating wormholes and their profound knowledge of the Supreme Universe. The relationship between Aniket and Celia has now transcended friendship to form a new bond of love, trust, and courage. The blue light of the watch gleams. It is not just a path, but the symbol of their collective journey toward the Supreme Universe. Aniket has no more despair. He is now a man of the Supreme Universe, tasked with building a bridge between our universe, which exists within a colossal black hole, and the consciousness that lies beyond it.
Bibhu the Detective, the old album. The future Earth stands at the brink of a new era where mankind's address has changed. Under the curse of environmental pollution, climate change, and reckless resource consumption, humans were forced to seek refuge in the 108 space towns, celestial cities constructed in Earth's orbit. Among these space towns, the most sophisticated and controlled city is ATK 101 Avant-Garde Technology Cube 101. Every structure here is made of glass and steel. The air is strictly filtered, light is metered and supplied, and the view of nature is merely a three-dimensional digital design. Bibhu, a 10-year-old boy in this city, felt suffocated by this perfect artificial life. His mother, a high-ranking official in the health department, wanted him to be a first-rate prodigy like his father. But Bibhu's heart searched more for the mysteries of space and tales of the past than for his class textbooks. This curiosity often brought him the brunt of his mother's reprimands. Bibhu had two sources of solace: his father and his beloved friend, his grandmother. Every night, his grandmother would tell him stories of Earth. Listening to the stories of that Earth from his grandmother's lips, Bifu would feel how their ancestors, due to their sheer greed and foolishness, had wasted every resource on the planet. Grandmother would say, "They didn't look towards the future, Bifu. They thought what they had would never run out." These stories created a deep emptiness in Bivu's heart, a longing for a lost love. For Bivu's 10th birthday, his father hesitantly gifted him a spatial telescope. His mother initially objected due to the high price, but she couldn't ignore the hunger for knowledge she saw in Bivu's eyes. Bivu's joy knew no bounds upon receiving the gift. When his parents left for work, he would take his grandmother to the roof where only clean artificial air circulated. Peering through the telescope, he would gaze at the distant blue planet, which was once a cradle of life, but now just a forbidden zone, and his heart would grow heavy. Regular news updates came to their space town while Earth was no longer suitable for human habitation. A new kind of life was flourishing in humanity's absence. Aquatic plants that survived by consuming toxic gases, new species of insects that could withstand radioactivity, and vast forests of deep red mushrooms that had created an entirely new ecosystem. The people of the space town could descend to Earth for short periods using special artificial oxygen kits, much like visiting another planet. This new, unfamiliar life on Earth evoked mixed feelings in Bivu. The sorrow of loss and a deep fascination with that new nature. The mirror of time. Looking at the night sky through the telescope's lens, a strange thought often occurred to Bivu. He knew that photons or light particles have no mass, so they can travel at the maximum speed of light, and he also knew that anything with mass could never reach that speed. It was an unbreakable law of nature. But the speed of light creates a peculiar time lag. When he sees the faint light of a distant star, he is actually seeing the stars form from millions of years ago. By the time that light crosses such a long distance to reach his eyes, the star itself might have been completely destroyed, its life having ended long ago. Bifu thought he was perhaps looking at the past of a dead star. Space was like a vast mirror of time. Our position in the vastness of this universe is a wondrous truth. Our solar system's life giver, the Sun, is just one ordinary star among the billions in the colossal galaxy called the Milky Way. But the Milky Way is only a tiny fraction compared to the hundreds of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. This sequence should humble us. Yet, we possess the ability to perceive this universe, making us extraordinary despite our smallness. The scent of the album. Bivu's house held one precious heirloom, an old album from the time of his grandfather and his ancestors when they lived permanently on earth. His grandmother would carefully bring it out. Flipping through the album's pages, Bivu would feel a oneness with his ancestors' earth. The pictures were faded, black and white, but Bivu's five senses seemed to awaken, bringing that the past into the present. Turning the album's pages, Bivu felt the scent of the soil from that lost time, the touch of the air. He could almost hear the incessant chirping of crickets, a symbol of a rural evening. He could hear the croaking of frogs during the rainy season, the melody of nature's indomitable life. And most astonishingly, he could perceive the wet smell of earth just before the rain, which we call petrichor. This strange imaginative sensation created a deep, unadulterated joy in Bibhu's mind, a divine realization of memory, nature, and life bound together by a single thread. These pictures proved what kind of earth humanity had lost. One morning, the family woke up to find that the precious family album had been stolen. Everyone in the family was distraught. His grandmother's eyes welled up with tears. Bibhu made a firm resolve. He had to recover this lost memory. This album was not just pictures, it was the root of their existence, carrying the identity of their ancestors. The clue. The next day at school, Bibhu shared his sorrow with his two best friends, Ishan and Olivia. Ishan, who had a sharp intellect, and Olivia, who was logical and brave. They were always by Bibhu's side. "We will find this album," Ishan asserted firmly. Olivia agreed. "Despite Etiquette 101's strict rules, there are bad people. We must become detectives." They started their investigation. Searching Bibhu's room, they found a small clue. Lying on the floor was an old Rubik's Cube, which Bibhu's childhood friend had gifted him. Bibhu realized the thief had tried to take this cube along with the album, but perhaps dropped it in a hurry. Bibhu took the cube and tried to solve it. After a long effort, he noticed some strange, subtle markings on each color section of the cube. Ishan and Olivia analyzed the markings. They realized it wasn't a casual mark, but a code. The three friends solved the code. Solving the code, they found the address of a secret location. The address was an old laboratory of the city, Dr. Chakrabarti's motive. They reached the old laboratory. As the door opened, they were stunned. Standing there was their favorite school teacher, the scientist Dr. Chakrabarti, and right on his table was the valuable album. Bibhu exclaimed in surprise, "Sir, you? But why?" Dr. Chakrabarti sighed and said, "Your ancestors wasted Earth's resources. Some people wanted to erase their memories so that the future generation wouldn't be burdened by the guilt of that crime, Bibhu. We don't want you to be ashamed of your ancestors' mistakes. If history is erased, one can start anew." He explained that he himself was part of the group that wanted to free the new generation from the punishment of the past that brought Earth to the brink of destruction. But Bibhu shook his head. "Sir, not shame. This album teaches us. These pictures tell the story of our ancestors' mistakes. These pictures prove how much the misuse of nature has cost humanity. The past you wish to erase is the key to protecting our future." Dr. Chakraborty was stunned by their words. He realized that this new generation was not burdened by the weight of the past, but sought to draw inspiration from it to forge a path to a new future. He slowly handed the album back to Bibhu. The Oath. Bibhu recovered his lost memory. Each picture in the album now told the story of their ancestors' mistakes, but at the same time, it gave birth to a new resolve. The three of them took an oath. They would never repeat the mistakes of their ancestors. They would protect the resources of their space town and create a better environment for future generations. That day, Bivu not only recovered his family's lost memory, but also became a true detective, one who doesn't just find stolen goods, but who fights for truth and principles and shows his generation the way to the future by shining the light of the past.